Hello, my darlings. Today I'm delivering to you a Kirishima story. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy it just as much as I enjoyed writing it. But before I dive right into it, I would like to remind you to watch the video until the end, like or dislike, and comment something down below. And if you're watching this during the premiere, please remember to comment. You tend to forget that, no offense. And if you don't know what to comment, just literally anything. It's literally just there for algorithm juice, so to speak. So yeah, I would greatly appreciate it if you would comment. Any fan works are also appreciated. I have a Discord. If you want to share, post it there and I can immediately react to it. Now, I hope you enjoy the show. Let's get right into it. If there was a lie that you believed as a child, it certainly was, "Don't worry, it will get better." They told you that during kindergarten, elementary school, middle school, high school, and now that you were an adult, not even your childhood dreams survived your early adulthood. You had aspired to become a chef cook, but your parents had talked you out of it. It wasn't a viable job. Who would hire you? The office job is safer. And here was your favorite. Your cooking isn't good enough. Take the office job. That's where the money is being made. The job itself couldn't have been worse. You were doing office work. You didn't even know what it was for. Accounting? Was it accounting? It was just numbers and letters, and files on top of files. Co-workers that kept talking and talking, and worst of all was your department director, Mr. Hogg. He was a pig, ironically. Overweight, passive-aggressive, and worst of all, a misogynist and racist. Yet despite that, the man had this something, this aura of authority and intimidation. You could hate Hogg's guts. He would know that you hated his guts, and if it wasn't for his insensitive remarks, well, Hogg did treat everyone equally, despite that. The man was in his late 40s, early 50s, and simply unfireable. And he knew that. And the owner of the company knew that. So complaining about him was out of the question, as long as he didn't go further than, as he put it, locker room talk. Today had been his birthday, and yet invited the entire department to a bar that he frequented. The overall atmosphere being more light-hearted than you expected, and the director almost immediately drunk himself into an almost blacked-out state. There, among your shouting co-workers, he had put you aside. And for a tension-filled moment, it was just you and him. You really had thought now he would get handsy. But he didn't, thankfully. And he admitted something to you. That you had the potential to become a true boss one day. Followed by him citing his past and aspirations in life. And he told you that he had faith in your abilities. This hurt your feelings, and you didn't know why. Maybe you were just hoping of leaving the office one day. Or maybe because you hated him. You returned home late at night, the words of your boss not having left your mind. Not even the alcohol managed to push away your thoughts of sadness, doubt, and most importantly, stress. And not even the prospect of coming home to your boyfriend seemed to be lifting your mood. You entered your apartment with a deep scowl. Upon hearing the door close, your boyfriend perked up, shouting, "Yo!" throughout your apartment. You inhaled desperately and exhaled into a deep, annoyed sigh. Kirishima was always so positive. You walk through your corridor into the living room. Your kitchen just had to be behind him. Not answering to his questioning look, you stomp past him, throwing some cold pizza from yesterday into the microwave. You hadn't eaten at the party, knowing full well you had pizza at home, and right now you realized maybe your mood was so down in the dumps because you were actually just hungry rather than moody, after what your boss had said. Meanwhile, Kirishima tapped his lips questioningly. The redhead could tell that you weren't in the mood. Well, admittedly, he was always in the mood. He respected you enough to not intrude on you. And just when he heard the pling of the microwave, he jumped up on his feet and rushed into the bathroom, suddenly having an idea. Another sigh left you as you returned to an empty living room. Maybe you were too harsh on him. But in the end, you just shrugged, placed your food on the side table, and jumped on the sofa while lazily grabbing one of the heated pizza slices. Your eyes darted towards the TV. Kirishima had been watching a horror movie of all things. You furrowed your brows. Your boyfriend was a self-admitted very manly guy, and had been celebrated in a pro-hero magazine as the third most sexiest hero of Japan, right behind Deku and grape juice. How you and him still managed to live in this small apartment was a mystery to you. However, despite calling himself manly, he was a little cheechy when it came to horror movies. Maybe the reason he was so overjoyed of seeing you was simply so he had a distraction from it. How cute. Someone in the movie suddenly screamed and you heard a loud plong coming from your bathroom, followed by a few expletives. He wasn't even watching the film at this point. When you reached the last slice of pizza, the bathroom door swung open. And he pointed at himself. "Bath's ready." You blinked perplexed. "Bath?" you asked with your mouth full. "Yes, bath." You swallowed and looked at the half-eaten slice in your hand. If you dropped it back on your plate now, it would be gone by the time you returned from your bath. Your eyes narrowed as you focused them on Kirishima's, slowly biting out a big piece of the pizza, leaving only a slight bit of tomato juice-covered crust that you put back on the plate just as slowly. After gulping down your food, you simply said, "Fine, but no funny business." He sighed and shrugged mockingly. "You know me, funny business is my second name." You blinked. "Ejiro funny business Kirishima." You really wanted to punch him right now. Another scream came from the TV and your boyfriend squeaked like a girl, which made you chuckle. While you stood up, slowly you walked past him into your bathroom, closing the door behind you. And you were honestly surprised. Rose petals made out of soap were scattered on the floor. Where he got those in the first place, he never told you. Some of them were in the filled bathtub already in the process of dissolving. And a soft pink foam was floating up on the water's edge. You sat contentedly and undressed before stepping into the hot liquid. Maybe it was a little too hot, as you almost retreated your foot from the water. It stung. You braced yourself for a moment and then went fully in. The first minute you spent heavily breathing. The heat was unbearable, but not to the point where you could say that you were being cooked. You shut your eyes, trying to suppress tears. It took your body 10 minutes of agony to finally get used to the heat. Or at least for the water to cool down to a manageable level. But once you were over that threshold, you relaxed. Quite well, actually. Slowly you exhaled as you slowly submerged your entire being. The smell of roses mixed with a hint of lavender, bringing you into a level of calm you haven't experienced in months. This tranquility was suddenly interrupted when an ice-cold gust hit your heat-reddened face. You hissed and looked up, and then blinked a few times in perplexion. There stood Kirishima, dressed in only swim shorts. "What the?" was all you could say before his mouth twitched into a proud grin. "I'm here to join ya." Your gaze shifted to his pants. "Why the shorts?" He inhaled. "I'll tell you in a bit. But can I join?" You deadpanned. You went through all this trouble trying to be romantic and setting this up. If you refused him, you'd feel like the bad guy here. "Sure," was all you said. He stepped behind you. Could you?" You shrugged and made room as he sat down behind you. Admittedly, you felt a little underdressed, but feeling his scratchy shorts on your back wasn't as bad as you anticipated. With quivering lips, Kirishima began massaging your shoulders. And you sighed peacefully. Now, if it isn't too much to ask, why the grumpy face? You chuckled. Why not the grumpy face? Even though you spoke calmly, he could feel the sheer suppressed emotion in your words. You have seen me come home countless times with a scowl. Why is this time so special? You practically forced him to admit this was all because of the horror movie. But the answer that follows you didn't expect. You asked me once why I don't live in a big house, why I don't have a car, why I'm not rich. You raised an eyebrow. Well, I always told you heroes get paid less than you expect, even if they are in the top 5 like me. But he sighed. That was a lie. I have quite the chunk of money on my account. I just never spend it. You tilted your head so he could reach a better spot on your neck. I'm listening, you said curiously, after he was quiet for a minute and a half. I see you come home every day, with such sadness in your eyes, and I feel like a monster for not giving you a break. You inhaled patiently and then exhaled. I was scared. A friend told me once, never show your girlfriend how much money you really have, but this has been a real weight on my shoulders. You forced a smirk. Oh, so you still think I'm a gold digger? He huffed. If I was, I wouldn't have just told you. Kirishima bit his lower lip. Something was happening to his body, and it was not the right time for it now. I see, you said. I want you to quit. Hand in your 3-week notice. You turned your head to look at him. You sure? He smiled. Yes. Your gaze returned to the other end of the bathtub. Genuinely. This just turned out to be one of the best days after all. until your redhead boyfriend suddenly fidgeted behind you. Once again you deadpanned, realizing what was actually going on behind you. You know what I was wondering, Clifford, the big red hero? He hated it when you called him that. I have but one more question. He hissed. What's up with the swimming shorts? You felt his head sink into the back of your neck as he mumbled. It's to hide my boner. Of course. You're too horny for your own good. He shrugged. I mean, unlike Denki and, well, the high school version of Mineta, I have tact, so I guess I'm not that bad. You scoffed. Right. Right. You rolled around, pressing your slippery, wet body against his, and he blushed hard. With a smug expression, you slid your hand down his toned chest and past his shorts. Well, good thing I'm into that, though, you whispered, eyes half-lidded. The two of you left the bathroom 20 minutes later. He had given you fresh underwear, while he himself put on one of his hoodies. There is one more thing I want to show you, he said with a dumb grin. Huh? Come. He took your hand and guided you back into the living room. Your eyes widened. Before Kirishima had invaded your bath time, he had set up a pillow fort, using a few thin blankets, the sofa cushions, and 3 folding chairs. I also put our inflatable mattress under it. You giggled, almost sounding mockingly. Why though? He shrugged. Honest answer or bullshit answer? You blinked and smirked. Both? Okay, bullshit answer because it's cozy and romantic. Honest answer? When I was a kid, my dad built pillow forts with me whenever I was upset. And I thought, you know, maybe you need that. You took a step forward to be next to him, and gently you took his hand. It's perfect, you mumbled. I love you. I love you too.